our audience on social media requires the perfect storm. Welcome, everybody. This is the email marketing segment of the Food Entrepreneurs Growth Summit. I'm Sydney Mitchell. I'll tell a little bit more about myself here in just a little bit, but the agenda for the next few minutes here, I'm going to give an introduction into who I am. Then we're going to define email marketing so that everybody's on the same page about what I mean when I say email marketing. Then we're going to talk about a couple of growth techniques, as well as we're going to dive into some of the features that you can use on Cast Iron on your store that can be able to help you with either growing your email list or using email marketing as a strategy to build your business. And then we'll talk a little bit about some email topics that you can use to, help get the ideas flowing so that you won't feel like completely lost in the game. And then I'll open the floor for Q&A. So if you want to drop any questions you have either in the chat or in the Q&A section, then I will reference back to those towards the end. All right. So first introduction, I'm Sid Mitchell, like I said, of the Sugar Coin Academy. My background is actually in finance and accounting, and I went to the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill's Business School, Keenan Flagler Business School. I went to UNC for undergrad as well as for grad school, and I currently live in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, but I bounce and forth between Atlanta, Georgia, and North Carolina, so I'm usually could be found in either one at any given time. So like I said, my background is in finance and accounting, but I also have just a heart for marketing and helping small business owners, which is what connected me with Cast Iron. So in my previous life as an accountant, I worked for PricewaterhouseCoopers, which is a public accounting firm, as well as Lincoln Financial and Comcast, all either in their finance department, either as a financial analyst or as an accountant. So basically numbers is my thing, and we'll talk a little bit more about numbers at the end of the session as well, because I do have an announcement about some things that we have going on coming up in February. So I started SweetFest back in 2014, which was a way to help you guys in the food industry understand more about how to start and grow a business in the industry. I know that so many of you are, so passionate about the food side, but maybe don't have the structure when it comes to the business side. And so that's what I'm here to support. And that's also why the Sugar Coin Academy is there for those of you who are interested in learning more about just getting support on the business side. So above the line is like my career background, and below the line is all about the food industry and supporting you guys in the industry. I am the business blogger for the Retail Bakers of America, as well as a business columnist for American Cake Decorating Magazine. I partnered with Pastry Arts Magazine. And of course, I work here with Cast Iron as a partner on the kind of business education side. I have a monthly session that we do called Cooking Up Sales with Cast Iron, and I'll talk a little bit more about that, but you can definitely find that either on the YouTube channel for Cast Iron or as well as their blog. So all of that to say, business, business, business. That's what I talk about. That's what I love. And that's what I am here to help you guys with. All right. If you want to connect with me outside of the summit, my Instagram is sweet_fest or either Sugar Coin Academy. I can be reached at either one of them. Or if you have any questions about anything that I'm going to chat about today, just hit me up at info@thesweetfest.com. All right. So I think I got all that out the way. Got my good intro so you guys know exactly where we're starting, who I am, and all that good stuff. All right, so let's move into the definition. So email marketing is a form of marketing that can make the customers on your email list aware of new products, discounts, and other services. It can also be a softer sell to educate your audience on the value of your brand or keep them engaged between purchases. And so one of the things I like to say is, and we'll talk about this even more, that email is a communication style. It's not always about selling either. And I feel like, email marketing kind of gets a bad name in the world of business because you get like 15 emails a day from this brand. Like I have one brand, I get at least 3 emails a day from them. And they're telling me about whatever discount they have available or what sales are coming up or what new products they've launched or whatever. And so it can get a bad rep when you do it too much, when a business does it too much. And too much just equates to when it becomes annoying to people, right? So whatever level that is with your audience, usually once a week is pretty good. That's a nice soft landing, or once a month or every 2 weeks is usually a good place to land. But multiple times a day is usually a bit too much. So just look at it as a communication style to help people understand more about what you have going on in your business, as well as providing additional value. So maybe there are tips that you can share. Maybe there are events that you're going to participate in, and those type of things to help people understand what's going on in your business, because I promise you they do care, especially with the movement of wanting to support local and support within our communities. All right. Okay, so let me move these things around so I can make sure I can read. Go NC Chapel Hill. All right, we got Donna. I'm sorry, I got sidetracked. Now this says go NC Chapel Hill. She's from Mooresville. Awesome. All right. So although it can feel overwhelming to add email to your marketing strategy, the ultimate purpose of email marketing is communication. Much like social media marketing, you can use email marketing to communicate product updates and other announcements to your audience. All right, so it's not just about sales, it's about all kinds of updates. All right, so however, unlike social media marketing, email marketing doesn't rely on an algorithm. That means that your audience has a higher chance of seeing your email than seeing your social media posts. So for instance, I like to say, is the algorithm going to be kind to you today, or is it going to be mean to you today? And you never really know, because when it comes to Instagram, TikTok, any of the social media platforms, they all have different ways that they go about, and reasons, kind of like methodologies behind what they show to the people who follow you. And so some days it may be kind to you, it may want to show you to everybody, and other days it may not want to show you to anybody at all. So for instance, if we're comparing email subscribers versus social media subscribers, when comparing 2,000 email subscribers to 2,000 Facebook fans, you can expect to have 435 email opens versus 120 Facebook fans seeing your posts. That's 22% for your email versus 6% for your Facebook post. Okay, so, and this is going to be the same across most social media. They want to see whether the information that you posted out there, they're going to send it to a small group of folks. And if those small group of folks really like it, then they're going to expand it out to more people. But it's not going to be the same way when it comes to your email, right? Reaching your audience on social media requires the perfect storm. I love to call it the perfect storm, because there's got to be a lot of things that will work in your favor in order for people to see what you've posted on social media, regardless of whether they follow you or not. Okay. It's a perfect storm of the right timing and a kind algorithm. However, email marketing only requires that you avoid the spam folder. All right. So think about it this way. You could post something on social media at 10 a.m., right? But if only 5% of your followership is on social media at 10 a.m., then they may not see your post ever. They may not see your post tomorrow. They may not see it later today. So it has to be the absolute perfect time. But if you hit somebody's email inbox, then whenever they check their email, then that's when they'll be able to see that you've sent them something, unless you land in their spam folder, which there are a couple things that you can do to kind of avoid the spam folder, but we'll talk about that a little bit later too. Okay, so your growth techniques. Here are a couple growth techniques that we're going to talk about. Number one is use your existing list. So if you've been in business for at least 3 months, and you've taken payments online, or you have done a pop-up event, then more than likely you have collected a handful of emails, and that is going to be a really great place to start. These are people you've already done business with in the past couple of months, and you can use them to kind of jumpstart your email list. Okay, so if you go within your cast iron account, you'll see over on the side there's an area that says contacts, and in that area you can actually manually add in in emails that you already have collected from previous platforms. Even on the description here, it says that you can look at Square, Jotform, Shopify, MailChimp, any other places where you may have collected previous emails, and you can just plop them in to this email section, and then you're going to tap the add contacts. Now, if some of these emails that you collected were just because somebody wanted you to send them a receipt, but they didn't necessarily sign up for kind of announcements and email marketing campaigns from you, then you can check this little box. First, if you do check the box, that means that they did give you the okay. But if you don't check it, then that means that they're going to get an invitation from you to join the list. Okay, so for instance, if you've been using a MailChimp for a while, but you want people to get the automated emails that come from your cast iron store, then you can go ahead and drop them into this place and either send out an invite or just automatically add them in there, depending upon what type of email relationship you've had with them previously. Okay, so one of the easiest ways to start building your list is just to use the email connections that you have gathered from previous events, from previous transactions, right? The second one too is to just ask people. I mean, it doesn't hurt to ask. We ask people to follow our Instagram. We ask people to follow us on social media. We can do the same thing with our email list. Ask them to join so that they can stay updated. Here's an example. This is actually my front page of the cast iron store before actually launching, and everybody has access to this before you launch your store. But also on top of once you've launched your store, if you, and Anna, please correct me if I'm wrong, if you put in your address and then the / and sign up, then you can get access to this page. And that's how I accessed it, even though my store is not launched. But even outside of that, if your store is launched, then you can just have this landing page that you use for people to kind of do an email subscribe. Is that right, Anna? Please correct me if I'm wrong.
I believe so. I'll check in with our team to make sure, but I'm almost positive that's exactly how it works.
Okay, cool. Because I tested it out with a couple of pages that I knew already had their websites up and launched. So I just wanted to make sure that it was something that was accurate for everybody. So more than likely, even if whether you've launched your store or whether you haven't launched your store, there is an email list kind of like landing page that you can send out to people when you ask them to sign up and join to get automated emails about your products and so forth. And you're just going to put in the actual address for your store / sign up. And then that will be like your landing page for them to join your contact list. Okay, so the number 2 was to ask people. The number 3 is to offer an incentive, some type of bonus for them to want to give you their email address, okay? Again, with inside of cast iron, you actually have this option to do this, to kind of automatically do this for you. And it's actually part of the automated emails area of the marketing tab. So if you go to your cast iron store in the background, you go to the marketing tab, and right there, you'll be able to activate a coupon that you can set for whatever percentage off that you want to have. And as soon as somebody signs up for your email list, then they will get this free coupon that they can use on your store. Okay. All right, and then this is also what it might look like when it's on the front facing part of your store. It also may be down at the bottom area of your store as well, okay? So, if you are using other platforms such as a MailChimp or a MailerLite when it comes to your email collection, you can offer other incentives as well. Maybe there is something about a free wedding tasting or other things that you can offer, not just percentage coupon discount, but maybe it's something else. All right. So just know that offering something else in exchange for getting their email is a really great way to incentivize people to give you their email. All right. So email topics, things that you can talk about in your email. All right. So if you also go like in that same area in the background of your store, you'll go to the marketing area. There's automated emails, and then there's also single send emails. And so we're going to dig into the product announcement piece. So I'm going to talk about that in just a second, but also over to the right, there is an area where it says your custom order availability. So for instance, let's say you do wedding cakes, or you do treat tables, or a donut bar, or something specific to your business. And now you have some more available dates on your calendar. Using the custom order availability section is going to be a great place to start, and telling people, hey, we have, we're open for fall weddings, or we're open for spring events, or whatever it is. You can use that area that's over on the right to help you with that. When it comes to product announcements, things that you want to send, like one-off announcements going on in your business, and it literally says manually send an email to your customers about a new product in your shop. So this could be new seasonal products, a new flavor combination to your menu for the season, as well as flash sales or pop-up sales that you're going to have for your business. Inventory updates. So maybe there's some changes to your product offering. So maybe you now have cake jars instead of just cake slices, or maybe you're now offering cupcakes or mini donuts or bagels or something like that, something new. Or maybe something used to be out of stock and now it is back in stock. So, these are things that you can announce to people. Again, this is a form of communication and updating your current customers as well as your potential customers as to what's going on in your business. All right. Another thing too is your event pre-sales. Now, obviously you can use your store not just for, pickups for this week, but you can also have, maybe you work at a farmer's market, or maybe you're doing some type of, in-person festival or something like that, and you want people to be able to pre-order and pick up at the event. And you can also host your event pre-sales on your website, but then you send out an email to let people know that they can purchase in advance too. And then another thing too is to announce other current events and other promos that you have coming down the pipeline within the next couple of days or couple of weeks. All right. Okay, so like I said, there was a single use under the marketing area within your cast iron account, but then there's the automated emails as well. Okay, so there's the shop updates, and then we already talked about the new subscriber coupon, which is an automated email once they sign up. Okay, so the shop updates automatically send a regular shop update to your subscribers featuring your latest products. I like this one personally because I am a set it and forget it type of person. I like to set things up and let them run in the background, especially if you are actively working in your business and you're actively updating your product offerings on a consistent basis. Then having these emails sent out on your behalf automatically is a really great fit. So then you don't have to think about it every week. What am I going to send out? What am I going to remind people of? It's already set up for you. Okay, so this is what that back end looks like when you're setting up that automatic shop update email, and you can set up the frequency. It's over on this right-hand side. The send frequency can be once a week, once every other week, or once a month. And so, like I said, you don't want to, bombard people with emails multiple times a day, but sending it something like once a week or once every other week is going to be a really good fit. And then you just kind of remind yourself to, check your website to make sure that everything is updated, that you added any new products and that type of stuff. All right. So we're going to do a quick recap. This was like fastest 30 minutes ever. First, before I do the recap, I will let you guys know that we do have another Cooking Up Sales coming up in February. So in the next couple of weeks. And Cooking Up Sales is basically a business training session that talks about a specific topic related to the food industry and business. So this coming up month, we're going to be talking about pricing mistakes that are hurting your business. So if you are having issues with your pricing, or if inflation has just gotten out of control and you don't exactly know what to do with it in your business, then this is going to be a really great place to have that conversation and to ask your questions as well. Because like I said, my whole background is in numbers. I love talking about pricing. I love talking about that side of the business. And so that will be a really great place to start. So keep an eye out for any emails, talking about emails, keep an eye out for an email that says the date and time and so forth. All right. Okay, so key takeaways, this is my recap. First, email is a form of communication that is more effective than social media marketing. This is not a statistic that I made up. This is legit. I mean, it's a lot easier to connect with people via email than it is with social media, because you never know whether they're actually going to see your post or not when it comes to social media. Okay. 3 email growth techniques that we talked about that are like very great for beginners in this email game is to send out emails to existing people or invite them to join your email list within Cast Iron. You can also ask people to sign up for your email by sending them to your landing page, as well as incentivizing them, either giving them maybe some type of tips guide or maybe a coupon or something to that extent when they sign up for your email. Okay. Use automation to your advantage. There are automated email templates that are set up within Cast Iron, and use that so that you don't have to worry about, did I send an email? What am I going to write? You can actually just use those to update people on a consistent basis, whether that's weekly, monthly, or whatever best fits your business. And then finally, email topics are the same as social media topics. This is something that I try to drive home this point all the time, because I get so many people saying, well, I don't know what to say, or I don't think anybody's interested in what I have to say. Well, if they're interested in what you have to say on social media, they're interested in what you have to say in an email. So the same thing that you would post on social media about a new event that you're going to participate in, or a new flavor, or a new staff member, whatever it is, people want to know those things, whether it's on social media or whether it is an email. And so just think about that you can communicate the same information on social media as you would on your email. All right. And then provide information that keeps your audience in the loop. It's all about updating them, giving them the appropriate announcements, and letting them know what you got going on, because they are actually interested, I promise. Any questions? Let's see, I got a nice little chat area here.
Sid, the first question came in. Do you have any tips for staying out of your audience's spam folder?
Yes. So when, and let me turn these off, turn off the sharing. How do I do that? Stop sharing. There we go. Yes. So I highly recommend that you send out an email. Like the very first email you send out when people join your email list is to say, hey, add this email address to your contacts. And that usually will keep them out. That will keep you out of their spam folder. Also, if you send emails consistently enough, then that will help as well. So you don't want it to be where it's just like every 6 months or something like that. But if you send it like once a week, then you probably will land in their promotional area, but you won't likely land in their spam area. But the main thing is that first email you say, hey, don't forget to add me in your contacts so that I don't land in your junk or your spam.
That's such a great tip. Thank you, Sid. And unfortunately, we only had time for one question today, but I want to thank you so much for all of the amazing tips. And I also would like to plug some of Sid's sessions with us. They're so valuable. Definitely check them out. Follow along with her if you don't already. And thank you, Sid, so much for joining us.